Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Checks and sees if he has enough space on his hard drive. Yeah, plenty. Unless this is a 900-minute long episode, which is pretty unlikely. We're at 14 wins in a row, and I'm feeling loose and tight simultaneously. I picked the loss, didn't I? JC F9 7MSV. So, like I said, feeling dialed. It's alright. It's been a long time since we accidentally accidentally picked the lost. That's okay. You just take a deep breath and you say to yourself, self, don't sweat it. We're gonna get there. You just gotta not get hit 2 times on the same room. And if you can do that, you got nothing to worry about. It's a little spice for the viewers at home. So what are we looking for? Oh man, it's been forever, huh? It's been a long, long time since Touchdown Bring Me Back Again to find. I'm not Eden, they think I am at home. I would say a respawn is really the _1 thing. It's not the keeper. It's not like it's a hard, or it's a hard character to win with, but it's not an impossible character to win with. We'd really probably, more than anything else, like to get a respawn though. Like a Dark Judas, a 9 lives goes a long way. Those are the big ones. Really, 9 lives is probably the most common. I was trying to think, maybe like a spacebar, like a Book of the Dead or something like that with all these battery charges could be worth a lot for us. I'm not too concerned right now. I do realize that, and this is why I'm saving bombs right now, our first boss fight is going to determine an awful lot for us in all likelihood. Gurglings are not that bad. Especially because they can hit themselves with their bombs. Hit yourself with the bombs. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hit yourself with your bombs. It's hit yourself with your bombs. It's Greece. It's Greece, sweetheart. Look it up. Not the country. The film. The play that was turned into a film? Anyway. That doesn't matter too much. Let's not worry about picking that up because we might get a respawn from our item room or maybe even our secret room. Yeah. I mean, it's, in hindsight, I really wish that I were Eden, but instead, well, really, I just had lunch, so I'm pretty full. What we gotta do is get to the item room here, because I'm telling you, I'm trying to think if there's any respawn items we could get from an item room. We'd probably feel pretty compelled to get him right away. I'm making a break for it. Because we have Spirit Hearts ready to back us up. Our secret room could have the 1-up in it, if we're able to find it. This is a really big first floor. But let's not focus on the negative, you know? If we make it to our deal with the devil on the next floor, deals with the devil are free. There's a lot of great items that all of a sudden come into focus that we otherwise might not have able to, or been able to get. So this is a nice one. You really feel like you come out of this, if you win, you come out of this rejuvenated and energized. However, if you don't come out of this, then you get to have a great excuse for why you lost in the first place, which can be valid as well. It's definitely not the time to use your D4. Because the Holy Mantle is essentially what's keeping you alive. So instead, we will perhaps briefly entertain the notion that this is our secret room. And it was. And we get a little bit of money. I'm going to use that little bit of money to go into our shop. I got to level with you. We're going to blow this up again. This is real tough. Because, like, There's Options is really good. But Sackboy is really good, too. I think we're gonna go There's Options, though. I think it makes enough of a difference being able to get something we want from boss fights. And if we get 3 more cents, we'll definitely buy Sackboy. They're both super useful. I feel somewhat comfortable that I think I would have made the exact same decision even if they were the same price. So that alone makes me feel like we picked the right item there. And if you disagree, hey, that's the spirit of the game. Invisible airways, crackle with life. Something, 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 something energy. You know that one? All this machinery. You know it. It's Geddy Lee. Well, it's Rush, but making my music is still be broken. That's the you know that's the drum fill. You don't need me to narrate the whole thing. Okay, great payout there. Do we care about an arcade? You know what? I mean, I think this is the floor where if you're gonna do the little things right, you really go all out. This gives us the chance to get an arcade on the next floor, which really we'd be looking for probably a fortune teller, which would then give us a good chance, although not a guaranteed chance, obviously, but a good chance to get crystal ball, which is a nice replacement for the D4. But I always think to myself, basically, that, you know, anytime you're the lost, there's a pretty good chance there's going to be one heart-stopping moment in every run. So, you know, we don't hope for a run that has no tension, although that would be amazing. Maybe we dream of a run with no tension. What we hope is that we encounter a run where we're just capable. Shouldn't have picked up that spirit heart, but it was in the dodge path. So I would also say we go pretty heavy on the rerolls. That's not really good enough. We're really, like, I think it's one of those things where these items are otherwise pretty good, but we're really fishing for, like, the cream of the crop. We're looking, you know, little items, I'm not saying they won't make a difference, but they won't make a big difference. Big items will make a big difference. Anyway, today's still Friday. Ran a lot of errands today. I had 4 errands to run on Saturday. I got them all done today on Friday. That's, you know, I've been trying out this new mindset of, hey, if something's like, you know, something's got to be done, just do it instead of procrastinating on it. Just did it, you know? Property, there we go. Property tax is not due till September. I said to myself, you know what? Let's pay it today. Let's get it off the mental ledger. I got my auto insurance renewed. Didn't even have to be renewed until the end of July. Paid an invoice that wasn't due for a while. I forget the fourth thing actually, but I mailed a letter. You know, it's pretty minor. It's not like it's the most. Oh, okay, for Sinvicta. The spirit of Sinvicta will bless this run now. Okay, that's exactly what we needed. Because we really want to get Diplopia. This could make, like, outrageous improvements for us here. Yeah, it's not like it was the busiest day anyone on Earth has ever experienced, but at the same time, it was a good one. I had a good time, and it always feels nice to just kind of get stuff off of your mental or literally your physical to-do list, right? Always feels good. So I'm feeling like I got some mental clarity today for the first time in a little while. Still got Yodel Kid stuck in my head, although I will admit over the past 5 or 10 minutes it has been replaced with Spirit of the Radio by Rush. You could do a lot worse than that. Regular Monstro. Small rock means we can basically stop blowing up tinted rocks if we want to. Sissy, you're doing great work. The Spirit of Sinvicta blesses this run. Definitely, I mean, it's not even close right now. We want Jesus Juice. That might change after this, but it probably won't. So we really like using this, believe it or not, because we get 2 rotten babies, which will pay out with twice the flies, which is pretty good. Now, this should not make a difference at all, but what's done is done, and you know what? We'll roll with this. We'll roll with this. I feel okay about this. So we got a really nice amount of flies working for us right here. Pretty close to becoming Guppy. I'm willing to go into this room. Yeah. No! Maybe that's... I think there's a Galaxy Brain world. No, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I feel like Cursed Eye actually is not detrimental. Except it's not detrimental in the same way. Because it'll only trigger when we take damage, not when Holy Mantle gets hit. Which means it can only trigger if we're already going to die in the first place. Now, the optics change a little bit if we get Mom's Knife. Just stay away from me. You know what? That's our little heart attack, and I'm okay with that. I think this is a pure Black Rune situation there. And with Golden Bombs, we really got to look around here. I'm almost worried about taking Liberty Cap for the potential speed down in some situations. Let's not take any pills either. I feel like Black Rune is just better than making a choice. It's possible that we Black Runed Magic Mush. We did get hit, be careful. But it's fairly unlikely. And no matter what, we got stats. Whereas what we could have gotten before is HP or, you know, a little bit of money. Stuff that's not high on the totem pole for us. Of course, if those are good, we're gonna wish we took the pills, but you know, that's the kind of logic that can get you into a little bit of trouble. So, top priorities. I don't know, honestly, just playing well. Mystery Sack is really nice. Being able to, like, honestly, here's our top priority. Being able to hold an Algiz rune or a teleport card. Yera's great, but on a lost run, it's not our top priority. Hold on, I had a little frame rate loss, which usually means I got a little Discord message. Which usually, and then you got the message, okay, Twitch front page music, be careful. You must be 21 to view this content. No thank you, I don't need to see any Soul Calibur 6, don't even sweat it. Okay, there's a false alarm. I mean a good false alarm, if that makes sense. Basically, someone said there's a bounty on Twitch, and then there wasn't a bounty. What's a bounty? You don't need to worry. It's a little paid sponsored thing on Twitch, but it didn't actually, there wasn't one, so you got nothing to concern yourself with one way or the other. There we go, we're fully transparent. Are we okay? Can we move on now? But yeah, number one thing would be, I mean, that's really helpful, don't get me wrong. Number one thing, though, would be having some kind of, like, fail-safe in case we have a brain fart. So an Algiz, a teleport of any sort. We don't know what that is, unfortunately. So we will Yera this room. Could have blown up the donation machine first. We will probably buy this. Jumper cables. That's okay. I think we'll pick it up. Alright, so it's useless, but that's okay. I don't know. I mean, as compared to, like, the start of this run, I'm even more optimistic. I think we've, by traditional Isaac standards, we got a really good run going on. And I've learned to appreciate life even more as a result of being the Lost accidentally. Even with Cracked Crown, our speed is still 0.8, huh? How about that? I don't think we need to open that thing. Yeah, it was a good day so far. No real complaints except, you know, the usual, like, well, it's a pandemic, you know? I never thought I'd have to live through times like this. It's a joke. It's enough money to do some damage on the shop. I would say, like, Chaos is pretty advantageous as well. I don't know, I mean, this is like, it's a pretty Isaac-focused Isaac episode for reasons that I think are relatively obvious. Nice, good. Not giving them free damage is going to help you out a lot psychologically here. Because you never know, there's just a couple of bosses that you'd really, really like to save any kind of failsafe for. Like the Matriarch, I hate it. Brownie, hate it. For now, we got, you know, very little to concern ourselves with. But we're just gonna stay as fresh and as hopeful as possible. This is a Northernlion classic, you know? I used to impatiently select the Lost out of Eden fairly frequently. I did get hit. Please focus. Please focus. Much better. A death card. Actually pretty great. We're gonna use it immediately. It's not enough of a fail-safe. Hold on to huge growth. We can do this, too. We can do this one. So I renewed my car insurance today. I don't have any, like, if you thought this was going to be like a crazy bit about car insurance, you are incorrect. All I'm going to say about car insurance is every now and then I do have these Larry David moments. I call them Larry David moments because they remind me of Larry David and because I am not original. He's the inventor of these kind of like minor things that you can argue about but don't have to argue about, but sometimes you choose to argue about them. So we, you know, parked our car a little ways away from the insurance place, and then we went to the insurance place, and the insurance person was very nice, but they were like, hey, do you have an odometer reading on your car? And I said, no. And they said, well, if you can go back and get an odometer reading on your car, it's possible you may qualify for our low mileage. We do call it mileage here. I apologize to the rest of the metric world. You may qualify for our low mileage program, which allows you to, if you drive less than 5,000 kilometers a year, which is like 3,000 miles to Graceland, then you get a little, like, I don't know, like 10% off your insurance or something like that, which seems fair to me if you're, you know, an infrequent driver, which we both are, because we, you know, for the most part, don't leave our house, or we take transit a lot of places. But I was like, okay, I'll go back and take a photo of my odometer, and I did, and we only have, like, we've owned the car for 5 years, and we have literally, like, 20,000 kilometers on it, so it averages 4,000 kilometers a year. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, you're smart people, and I think we're going to stick with Guppy's head, believe it or not, that qualifies us. This gives us a Holy Mantle on the boss. I don't know if it stacks on top of the existing Holy Mantle, but it's still pretty good, I think. That qualifies us for the bonus, right? You have to get Blank Card. It's the play. I'm here to tell you it's the play. And then you see what this is. Hold on, this is of the utmost importance. This could determine the whole run. That's not what we want, but it's still nice. In theory. If we weren't the Lost, maybe. Well, we still really like this. And we really like this. And we don't really like that anymore. But life goes on. But I was also like... And again, I'm not going to argue myself out of a discount. That's a foolish way to live your life. But I was kind of like, she doesn't know. First off, she doesn't even know this is my car. But I guess if you're like, you know, gonna put it that far, I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, you could just commit insurance fraud. It is illegal, and if you get caught, I should say, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. So it's not really like, in my head, I was like, what's to stop me from doing a crime? But it was more like, she doesn't know if I drove the car for 500 kilometers a year for the first 4 years, and then last year I've suddenly got like a penchant for doing cross-country road trips. But I guess that's, you know, when that's your anecdote, I think that you've had a good day. And that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I have to say. So with Blank Card, we're really in like a 6 spot. What we're looking for is a teleport card that could allow us to go into Boss Rush, and out of Boss Rush for that matter. We're looking for an Emperor card that could allow us to skip a bunch of floors and basically just steamroll to the end of the game. We're looking for not 40 skulls to pop out of the woodwork there. We were looking for maybe like a single card. We did get hit. So just, again, every time you get hit, just be a little cautious. Just be a little cautious. You got nothing to really concern yourself with as long as you maintain a healthy level of caution for the time being. I'll tell you when you can get concerned. For now, the level of concern is 0. But in the future, it could change pretty quickly. Pop this in here. Like, I can already see the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry's like, how do you know I did this? And then they're like, you know, you're right, sir, I take my discount back. And he goes, no, that's not what I meant. I don't think we can afford the speed down right now. I didn't mean to take this. I was trying to protect you from bad actors, you know? That's all I got, though. I haven't really been outside today except for, you know, putting letters in mailboxes and stuff that's functionally very similar to that. I know that sounds like a double entendre. That's not what I intended, but now we're kind of stuck with it. I would really... This would be a great floor. Like, deal with the devil odds? Sure. To beat the odds and get a deal with the devil would be nice. What would be even nicer is to beat the odds and not have a shop with greed in it. So I really think having the ability to get, like, one good card changes everything. We're saying no to a lot of items that can cause their own unique brand of trouble. I really think in many ways Isaac was not a game designed to be perfected. You know, most runs you will have more than one room where you take more than one hit of damage. So winning as the Lost is a bit of a challenge. I know that, you know, Cobalt Streak has gotten 9 lost wins in a row or some 20 lost wins in a row or something like that. That's very impressive. But even then, how many Eden wins in a row would he get? I don't know. If he really put his mind to it, probably, like, he'd be up there with Sinvicta in all likelihood. So I think we're still talking about a character that's like 40 times more difficult. So this is a little scary. I stand by that. I stand by the decision we made there. Oh. Now that is unexpected. Not bad. Just unexpected. Maybe bad. I don't know. So forget Boss Rush. We don't need Boss Rush. It's for the birds, sweetheart. We don't like it anymore. That's old news. You don't check the periodicals. Now it's all about taking it slow, doing the little things right, sister. Making sure the pot doesn't boil over. I need a shop. I don't know, I can't snap myself out of the private detective mindset there. See? We're gonna turn over every stone, see what kind of crayfish pop up. Put them in a pot and see what they squeal. We've really only been a one item room too. This is a strange run. Even by Lost standards, this is a strange run. You can blow up the skulls. The thing about blowing up skulls is that 95.9% of the time they become skulls. So, you know, just, you know, I hope you like the movie starring Joshua Jackson, The Skulls, because that's what you're going to see a lot of when you use a bomb there. There was a time where it felt like they paid out with other things. That time is long since past. Okay, we knew that this was a... if not a likelihood, a sincere possibility. So this really does put a pretty big damper on our chances. Not big enough to be despondent, but big enough to be like, that sucks. So we're just gonna see if we can't unearth a card of some sort. That's not a good one, but it does exist. And I guess in theory, if we get a respawn, it could be a good one. Depending on who we come back as. We really, like... I see it as an obligation and a compulsion to blow all of these up. Because really, we're one skull away from pretty much having it in the bag. Now, the skull has to have the exact perfect payout in it. And if it doesn't, we're wasting a lot of bombs that may prove fruitful for us at some point. But it is what it is. Say it with me. It is what it is. If we didn't want to find ourselves in this position, that was very scary. If we stop. If we didn't want to find ourselves in this position, do you ever consider not picking the Lost accidentally and taking 2 extra seconds to make sure that you're eaten? Fair enough. You know me. You got me. So I think now... Our new horizon turns to hoping that we get a deal with the devil that has a respawn. I could live with Judas's Shadow. I could definitely live with 9 lives. I might be able to live with neither. If we had to, we could carve out a new life with, oh, we'd been to 0 item rooms actually before? No, I went to the shop just now. That's my bad. I had it all mixed up. Okay, that was well worth it. If we had to, you know, Guppy's Collar exists. That's an item that does things. So 50% of the time. Alright, so it appears that we will be on our own. So I would say don't even get your hopes up for anything but mere survival until you have the pleasure and the privilege of getting to the first floor deal with the devil boss. That's my 2 cents on this subject, and tell you, here's a quarter, call someone who cares, right? I still think we put it down here. I think it's well worth it. It's worth a shot, dude. It's worth a shot. You can't convince me it's not worth a shot. The scary thing is, like, well, it's only scary because of the fact that, you know, if we had just been eaten, it wouldn't be a problem. The scary thing that I'm about to say, though, is that the run is actually, like, fun and also fantastic. So really, this would have been a cruise. If we had just not been the Lost, we would be sitting pretty. We'd be having little sandwiches on a tall tray right now. It would be a beautiful time. Instead, here we are. Curse of the Lost. But still making it. Still making it work. So what's the dream? Well, we have a 100% chance of a deal with the devil. Either getting absurdly powerful, or alternatively, getting a respawn or 2 would be worth a lot. And you know what? I feel like I'm just gonna call it. I think we're getting the respawn here. It's been a long time since we've seen 9 lives. I think we're due. And that's not a relevant or valid statistical means of interpretation, but I'm calling it. Oh, hello. We're due. We're gonna get it. Alternatively, again, allow me to reiterate, an Emperor card. A Sun card would be helpful. Really, any card that actually allows us to use it would be a start. Okay, that was a scary room. We got lucky to not get hit. Okay, this is big, this is big, this is big, this is big. The Chariot. Okay, that I left that out of my earlier assessment. This may actually be one of the best cards. I don't know if it's quite as good as the Emperor, but it might be a legitimately close second. So basically, don't use the Chariot. If you get hit, use the Chariot. If we never use the Chariot over the course of this run, that's a big positive, because for me it means we probably just won, or we made a terrible mistake not pressing the spacebar, which would, I don't know, psychologically set me pretty far back. But let's cross that bridge when we don't come to it. How does that sound? Nostradamus. You don't hear that much about Nostradamus anymore, huh? In the late 1990s and the early 2000s, especially around the turn of the millennium, you couldn't shake a stick without seeing a news report or a you know, admittedly tabloid magazine be like, Nostradamus predicts, you know, Tom Cruise will become president in the year 2002. And you're like, that's pretty funny, because there's not even an election that year. I don't know what the heck that means, but I gotta buy this magazine, dude. It's got matters of international importance and audacious predictions. Okay, if this is Algiz, that's the only one I would consider better, probably. So that it doesn't do too much for us, I'm willing to admit. Okay, the shot did a lot to you. You know what? Very much appreciate it. We would take Lord of the Pit for the speed upgrade. Oh, come on. 2 guppy items? 2 guppy items? Bueller? Okay, we're still happy because, like, Lord of the Pit was really good, but... And actually, the chariot is incredible, but, like, come on, man. Really? You're gonna do me like that? Don't you know that John Cougar Mellencamp song? Don't do me like that? And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that's Tom Petty, but... You know. I'm not gonna say what's the difference, because I like Tom Petty more than I like John Cougar Mellencamp. From a musical standpoint, I don't know as a human being. I'll always respect John Cougar Mellencamp for the lyric, "Sucking down chili dogs outside the tasty freeze." That's about it, though. Tom Petty, he's a little higher in my classic rock echelon. Still, I think I am a little less pro Tom Petty. Not anti Tom Petty. I'm just a little less pro Tom Petty than the average Tom Petty fan. That's okay, you know, everybody's got their own preferences. A lot of people don't understand what I see in Tears for Fears, to which I respond, you know, everybody wants to rule the world, brother. This is a weird use of the chariot card. We got out of it, and I think it was a shrewd use of it. I wish we didn't have to, but so be it. This is where we're vulnerable. Go ahead, get him. Get him, Gemini. I would love it. Oh, I love it. Okay. No, wait, I don't love it at all. Now that I think about it, I'm like, we don't care about the, we don't care about the demon hearts. Why would we care about the demon hearts? The good news is, though, and it really is good news, and this is my honest interpretation, the good news is that I really feel like, barring catastrophe, we're pretty okay, which is really positive, because we're really, really unlikely to get many more improvements. It would be, no thank you, it would be a dream come true to get a deal with the devil on this floor, but it's like a 1 in 3 shot. So I think this, like, what you see on this run is kind of what you get. I think they've given us, like, oh, there was, like, an invisible enemy behind us? I think they've given us, like, exact survival rations. So just keep it rolling. Every hit gets you closer to a lethal chariot range. But if you don't have to use chariot, that's even better, obviously. And we didn't. We did beat the odds. You might as well. I don't think it does anything for you except get you closer to, oh, whatever the transformation is when you get a bunch of evil items. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know the one. Not Beelzebub. That's the fly-driven one. So I'm doing like an audit here. I'm looking at the run. And I'm saying to myself, how do we look on the cathedral? Not amazing, but definitely doable. The chest is kind of a different story, but with only 1 luck. We're still a little concerned there. The moon is not as good, but in some ways better. What do I mean by this asinine statement? I think we're going to be very excited to see that item. I don't know, we might be excited for that one. Oh, we're not excited for this item, by the way. What I mean is that oh my god. In some ways, teleporting is stronger than the chariot. Chariot is really like something you use as a finisher. To make sure you can complete the run. Whereas, let's just leave just in case I took some damage there. Whereas, we definitely just prefer this. Fool. I mean, it's a pretty similar prospect here. Like, if it's tough. If we're one hit away from killing an enemy, and we get hit, the chariot lets us finish the room easily. If we get hit immediately, and the chariot's not going to take us there, we might honestly prefer to have the moon card. Come on. That would have been a big opportunity there. For now, I genuinely think the chariot's better. I'm gonna... Oh, no. We stick with what we got, but there is a part of me that's like, you know what? It might be wise to take the left hand. That way. I don't know if that hits through the Holy Mantle. Whatever's in there is unlikely to make a difference, so we're not gonna risk it, but the left hand is a very tempting choice because it can give us 9 lives. So it's... I'm torn up. I'm torn up inside. I will say, I almost think maybe you take the moon card into the cathedral fight. You knew it was coming. Maybe you take the moon card into the cathedral fight. Then we got battery charges. Well, we had a battery charge we could work with. And then if it ever ran out, you could always just go in with the chariot card, but I don't know, man. It's a little touchy. Here's what I think you do, okay? I think you go in with the moon card, and if you get hit, you hit Q. If you don't get hit, you consider yourself lucky, you walk back and grab the chariot. This preserves the ability to use the chariot card twice on the boss fight if we deign that to be appropriate. But really, the dream is not getting hit. Surprise, surprise. Turns out not getting hit, a very powerful tool in the toolbox in Isaac. Good stuff. You executed your move properly. This is where things are at their scariest. Okay, assuming you didn't get hit, and you could have. This looks very good to me. And I feel like the more I hold the moon, the more this feels like the right play to me. The more it feels like on the chest, you're gonna wanna have something that can completely reset the conditions for a room, instead of something that gives you like plus, you know, 10% of an enemy's HP bar, but otherwise after that you're kinda hosed. It is close though. It's like, this decision could make or break the game, but I think this is the one we take right now. And we take the moon over the fool, because if we have to use it early, it's possible this could teleport us closer to the boss. Oh my god. Oh my god. We got a respawn. And actually, I mean, every item in there was pretty solid. But the respawn is just outrageous. So I would now say we're a favorite to win. And honestly, this is a really high value, like, a run that's a little... It's overpowered by normal run standards, but I really think we did a great job, specifically, taking it where it needed to go. I think that we piloted this run very, very, very well. Did we have a heart stopper? Yes. The thing... Oh my god, there's a 1-up, too. I mean, we really shouldn't take Egghead yet. We should take it after we come back as Dark Judas. Have there been some heart stoppers? Yeah, there's been a couple of heart-stopping moments, but nothing like so catastrophic as to be, you know, like, oh, we should have died there. So I'm pretty impressed with myself. Maybe this is what I needed, because we did have a lot of runs, like, recently, where I left the runs being like, I didn't do a great job. Where I left the runs being like, I really could have I didn't perform at the apex of my abilities there. This one, I think we fight this one. We're almost done. Are we at the apex of our abilities? Maybe not the absolute zenith, but closer to the top than the bottom. No thank you. Weird six-pack room. Probably should have killed Gluttony last. You know, that's the kind of stuff that still could matter. Because we are... Well, it's weird. Like, we are losing Holy Mantle. But on the other hand, we will have Holy Mantle on the boss because of the blanket pickup earlier. Ahem. It's not a room you want to deviate from north-south. I don't really care who dies. Probably the enemy that's rushing us down. Very, very, very nice. Just, what if you didn't shoot? What if you just, instead, lost all your HP and died? Really appreciate it. If you can one-tap bosses, you're pretty much in the clear. No matter what character you're playing as. Hello? Please don't telefrag me. I mean, the joke's on you. While you stay below ground, Sissy is paying out like crazy. All that just for you to die. Truly incredible. Oh, dude. I'm starting to let myself realize that we're in the clear. I'm starting to let myself we got plenty of space there. I'm starting to let myself realize that we're in the clear. Now to do it without having needed the respawn is a nice little moral victory on top of everything else, and that just transpired. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. How's that for some excitement? I'll see you next time.